Hello and welcome to Steve McDonald's Arts and Crafts, and today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a resin picture. But of course it's me, so it's going to be slightly different. I'm going to be showing you quite a few tips and tricks throughout this as well, because what I'm going to be doing is a rainbow picture. So I've got my board marked out in red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. And what I will be doing is I will be putting the colours in, and then I'll be dividing them off with this flat wire and then filling it with resin. So what you get is you get the wire that actually divides the colours up, and believe me, it does look really quite pleasant and nice and different. So what I've got to use for making the colours with is these Arteza chalk pens, and I love these. They're great quality. They work really easily, and the other thing is they give you spare nibs, and you're able to change the nibs as well. So if you don't want a round nib, you can change it. Really good quality, and they're not overly expensive. I will link everything that I used today in the description below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Give that a knock, and that way when my new videos come out you won't miss out. Yay! So without too much further ado, what I'm going to do is get on, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these colours in, and these are my guide colours, and I will obviously I read them off the side of the pens because I'm colourblind, so if I do get the blues and that mixed up, then I apologise for that. And like I said, these go on really easily and they give a very nice finish, and they are great. I'm going to be using these to paint on my blackboard wall that I've just created in my new studio when I get to move into that, to put all the members' names up, all the VIP people, and the names of people that have also bought me coffees. So if you'd like to buy me a coffee to say thank you for anything and get your name up on the wall, then the link is in the description below. So this doesn't take too long, and it goes on, like I said, really nice and neatly. I will do the edges of this, but I won't go down the edges with the actual metal. And what I will show you throughout is how to put the wire in to stop it coming up, and so it sits and nice and flat in there, and the best way you can then fill it up with resin to get the best effect with your picture. The other great thing about this is it dries really quickly. Okay, so this is all nice and dry now, and what I'll do is I will ensure that before I do anything else and resin over that, I will just give it a quick seal. And all y'all use for giving it a quick seal is Crystal Clear, or there is an equivalent to this as well in the States, and I will link them both in. And I'll just give it a very light spray over the top. Well, this is all nicely dried now from where I sprayed it, and it's all nicely sealed. And all I need to do now is to cut my lengths of wire, and I like to have those pre-cut before I start in the shapes that I want them. So there's the first one, and I'm going to use my scissors to cut this with, and it is a fairly thin wire, as I've said, and easily very flexible, and I will ensure that I pop it into the description below so you can get hold of it. Yep, and that's perfect. So I'll just go ahead and I will cut the rest of my pieces of wire that I need, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how I pop the resin in and seal these down. I'm all ready now to do the first pour on this, but before I do that, I will just double check that my pieces are really in the shape that I want them, and if they're not, then I'm going to shape them up by just running them through my fingers, like to get them nice and in the shape that I want. Now don't forget, this is a really soft and flexible wire, so you know it is going to shape up really easily. I'm pouring my resin on now, and I don't want it too thick on here. I just want enough to give it a covering to allow those wires to stick on. I've also allowed my resin to thicken up quite a lot, so the surface tension prevents it from flowing over the edge. I'm using a plastic palette knife here to spread it out so there's a nice even coating. I just would like to say a quick thank you to all my members whose names are coming up now. Thank you very much for all your help and support. So once it's all covered, what I'm doing is I'm just going over with my torch to get rid of any bubbles, and now I'm laying the wire in and ensuring that there's good contact between the wire and the resin that I've just put in, because that will hold it in place and allow you to pour into those little areas that the wire will have created.
So again, just making sure that it's in the right place. So they're all in now. I'm happy with the placement of these. I'm just making a slight few adjustments. And what I'll do is I'll leave this now for about 6 hours to cure up before I do the next stage.
So this is all cured now and ready for me to put the next stage in. Now, I don't want to put wire around the outside of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape the edges off so that the resin can't run out over here and fill these edges off. And all I'm going to use to do that with is some normal sellotape, not a wide one because I don't need it to be wide, and I'm going to pop that on there. What I'll do is I will pull that out and I will go so that there's still some over the top of it but some on the bottom of as well. Don't pull it too tight around the thing because if not your sellotape will warp as you're doing it and you won't get a nice clean edge. And then all you need to do is pull your tape around underneath and stick it there. Make sure it's sticking to the edge as well, and then you've got a barrier going all the way around your piece so your resin isn't going to flow out of the edge of this and run off. And be careful with this, don't let it stick to the actual board itself. Wherever it sticks you're not going to get any resin.
My resin colours are all mixed up and I've used a mixture of mica powder, tiny bit of glitter in some, and opaque pigment to give it a real nice colour. And I've got the guide colours underneath so that I know exactly where each colour is going to come from, and it's going to give it a more deep of a colour rather than having the white underneath that the board was originally. So make sure that you spread out everything that you use so it touches the wire. So I've completed all my colours. Again, I'm just going over it now with my torch and getting rid of any surface air bubbles, and now I will leave this for 24 hours before I take the tape off.
So this is finished now. Well, it's cured, and all we need to do now is take this tape off here. All I will do is I will just cut the tape and then remove it, and it should come off fairly easily. That's now got all the tape off it. I'm ready now to paint the outside with my homemade metallic paint, and all I do is I hand paint. I mean, you could draw a line if you wanted to. Now, I will give this 2 coats because I feel that it always looks a little bit better. And the great thing is this is a water soluble, so you can wash your brush out in normal water, and also because it's water soluble it dries really quick. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish painting this on, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's completely finished. There we go. So that's all finished and dry, and the outside has had 2 coats on it, and I'm really pleased with how that's come out. It's nice and easy, and it gives, I think the wire just gives a really lovely wavy ripple effect to it, and it's nice in your pictures as well. You don't have to have this shape, you can make it into any shape that you want to make it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of future videos. Check out the members only area, the join button below, and also if you fancy buying me a coffee just to say thank you and to help me keep this channel going and to save for bits and pieces that I need, I really do appreciate it. And all the links are in the description below. Take care, enjoy your resin, have fun, bye.